This is the WJTS News. In tonight's news, a medication disposal box is now available at the Jasper Police Department. As the city of Huntingburg grows, the council looks into a stormwater utility. And the United Way of Daviess County announces the date of the second annual Day of Caring. In sports, Kurt Guxell previews Northeast DuBois Jeep Baseball. Plus, WJTS Inform features Jan Dugan with Purdue Extension. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Bill Potter with the WJTS News. A 24-hour-a-day drop box for medication disposal is now available at the Jasper Police Headquarters as a joint effort has been made by a local business and a not-for-profit and made this service possible. CVS Health and the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids have led a joint effort that has allowed the Jasper Police Department to acquire a prescription medication disposal unit. Jasper Chief of Police Nathan Schmidt says the drug collection unit will give the citizens of Jasper a safe and convenient way to dispose of unused medication. Schmidt says when it comes to prescription medication, their number one goal is to reduce drug abusers' access. He says he believes this is one step towards that goal. Tom Davis, Vice President of Pharmacy Professional Services at CVS Health, says CVS Health is dedicated to helping the communities they serve address and prevent prescription drug abuse. And Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz thanked CVS Health for their commitment to helping the Jasper area residents reduce the amount of unneeded medicine in the community. The Medication Disposal for Safer Communities program has donated more than 800 drug collection units to police departments across the country, which have collected more than 100 metric tons of unwanted medication. The new prescription medication disposal unit is available 24 hours a day in the lobby of the police department at 309 East 6th Street in Jasper. Citizens wishing to utilize the medication drop box are asked to remove all personal information from vials, place medications in sealed non-breakable containers and/or sealed plastic bags. Do not include liquids or any sharps, that's like syringes or lancets. They may cause injury to the staff servicing the drop box. Also, the Huntingburg Police Department is another location you can drop off medication. The Jasper JCs will be holding its annual Easter egg hunt Saturday at the JC Park on Bartley Street. The day's free event will be held, they say, whether rain or shine. In search for eggs, that begins at 10 a.m. While the event is free, they are requesting donations for the DuBois County Humane Society from participants, but it is not required. The JCs say some items the Humane Society is in need of include canned dog and cat food, litter and purple pine sol. The free Easter egg hunt is for children ages 2 through 13. The Easter Bunny will be available for pictures with youngsters, along with Ms. DuBois County Brooke Sanders. Spencer County leaders are organizing a mentoring initiative for at-risk juveniles. Spencer County Circuit Court Judge John Dart approached the County Council during its March meeting to outline the need for a mentoring program in the county and request county support during the startup phase. Dart noted that Spencer County's number of youth served by the Court-Appointed Special Advocates Program, or CASA, and working their way through the court system due to drug use among their parents or guardians is ever increasing. He said more help is needed in the community at large to help provide positive role models in society. Community leaders are developing committees to help kickstart the program. The mentoring project has been underwritten through the Indiana Youth Institute and the National Mentoring Resource Center. The city of Huntingburg will be looking at issues that its stormwater drainage has propagated and its growth. This month, consultant firms were asked to present proposals to the city for a review that would lay out designs for a stormwater system more in the form of a utility. The city is preparing for the addition of the possible utility as they face growing population and stormwater issues that are absorbed by the street department's budget. Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner on Monday with the Mayor said the city is looking into how they can increase revenue to provide for the possible stormwater utility.
We're just looking at the way of how could we maybe increase some revenues to spend money specifically on stormwater issues and maybe free up some additional funds to do more paving. So it's of course there's a cost that goes along with that. So what this proposal is going to do is lay out to us what it would take to establish a stormwater system in Huntingburg and what the cost associated with that is. Once that report is given to the council, they're going to review it and make a decision on whether or not this is the time that we want to do this. Nothing has been put in place as to saying we're going to pass a stormwater rate. What this study will do for us is give us the framework and good information for the council to review and decide, is this the time for us to do this? And that's again a good fiscal responsible decision. We know there are projects coming up that we would like to do, but there's just not the money to do it under the current tax system. The only way to do that would be raise taxes. Well, let's find the right way to do this. That's what this study is going to help us decide. What is the right method for us to progress as a city towards having some way to generate funds to do the projects that we would all want to do.
At this week's council meeting, they received 3 bids for consultant work on developing a possible utility. There has been no decision on whether or not there will be a utility established or instead a stormwater fee will be incorporated into monthly billing. A committee will now review bids and make their recommendations sometime in the near future. And earlier this week on Monday with the Mayor, we featured Denny Spinner. You can see that entire interview on the WJTS website. That's WJTS.tv. The United Way of Daviess County will once again team up this year with local community members and businesses as they work on projects across the county for the 2nd annual Day of Caring. May 1st, the Daviess County United Way will spearhead a day of caring in Daviess County as volunteers participate in projects that range from painting to roofing. In 2017, the event saw over 300 volunteers taking time to come together and serve others. The value of the work done last year was around $40,000. Those interested in volunteering during the United Way of Daviess County Day of Caring still have about a week to register by calling 812-254-1038, 254-1038. While many of the projects take place near or in Washington, volunteers are also needed to help with projects in Odin. Authorities in Kentucky say that the man who shot and killed a Hopkinsville off-duty city police officer on Thursday has been killed after a brief encounter with law enforcement early this morning. Kentucky State Police say 38-year-old off-duty Hopkinsville officer Philip Meacham was shot after he was pulled over by a person impersonating a police officer. Kentucky State Police identified the suspect as 34-year-old James K. DeCourcy of Hopkinsville, who police said fled on foot, then stole a 1997 white Chevrolet pickup truck. Initial reports say that DeCourcy was killed by law enforcement in Clarksville, Tennessee, early this morning. A 14-year law enforcement veteran, Officer Meacham, leaves behind a wife and 2 young children. Toyota supplier ViewTech plans to build a new support center for the company's 7 U.S. plants and expand production in the 2-phase project on 53 acres in Union Township near Toyota. The company plans to invest $27 million in the project that will employ 400 people by the year 2022. The company needs water, sewer, and improved road infrastructure at the site of the west side of US 41. The first phase of the proposed project would involve building a support center and a 200,000 square foot production plant. The support center would provide sales, training, safety, and production support to ViewTech's 7 U.S. operations and would initially employ about 10 people this year, expand to 200 with production, and then grow to 400 employees with the $8 million investment in the second phase of construction by 2022. A state fund providing housing assistance to Hoosiers hit by February floods has nearly run dry due to the widespread scope of the disasters, officials said. About 143 Indiana families were displaced by the floods produced by sustained rainfall. The families received housing assistance through a $150,000 disaster assistance fund administered by the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority. The agency budgets money in the Disaster Assistance Fund each year toward relief efforts. However, funds are limited. The funds usually come from the agency's general fund. In response to widespread flooding this year and infrastructure damage, Governor Eric Holcomb announced disaster declarations for 35 counties. The disaster declaration means the Indiana Department of Homeland Security can take necessary actions to provide expanded emergency services. The budget could be amended if the coming tornado season or other weather troubles produce more calls for disaster assistance. The Indiana State Department of Health is warning Hoosiers about the dangers of synthetic cannabinoids, often called fake weed or K2, after reports that this month that individuals in Illinois and Indiana suffered severe bleeding after using the substances. State Health Commissioner Chris Bach says that synthetic marijuana contains hundreds of chemicals and it is difficult to know what's in them or how people will react to the ingredients. That the State Health Department reports it has seen cases increase dramatically in Illinois and know that at least one person in Indiana has reported severe bleeding after using the synthetic alternative. Synthetic cannabinoids act on the same brain cell receptors as the main active ingredient in marijuana. While they are often marketed as safe and legal alternatives to marijuana, the health effects from synthetic cannabinoids can be unpredictable and harmful. Many of these products are packaged in ways that unfortunately appeal to youth. 16 Indiana National Guard soldiers participated with more than 8,400 marchers in the largest turnout ever for the honorary Bataan Memory Death March in New Mexico this month. 3 teams from the Indiana National Guard participated in the event to honor World War II service members. All 3 teams performed outstandingly, taking first and second place in the National Guard Light Division and first place in the National Guard Heavy Division. The 26.2-mile march takes place in the mountainous desert terrain of New Mexico, with light and heavy divisions competing as a team or individually. The Heavy Division is required to carry a 35-pound rucksack. The Memorial March honors members of the military who were forced by Japanese captors to make a grueling 65-mile march across the Bataan Peninsula. In 1942, 75,000 U.S. and Filipino troops endured harsh conditions, including lack of water, food, and torture and executions at the hands of the captors, the Japanese soldiers. Now stay tuned. Weather, sports, and inform are still to come on 18 WJTS News.